All right. Good afternoon, Dennis and Sai. Really appreciate you participating in the fireside chat. Really thankful for your partnership, both with Aviva and Canal. It's a great journey we have started. It's a new relationship for us as well. But I wanted to pick your thoughts today as it relates to some of the Guidewire transformation that's happening in your organization. Both of your organization in a distinct phase of where you are with Guidewire. Would like to pick your brain how one it's helping you bringing more transformation. Second, what have you experienced in the last 2 days, and do you think that the AI infusion within the new products that being launched will help your own journey and your own roadmap?
A few of us are rejoining us back to Aviva, and so we came into an environment that was pretty chaotic, tons of tech debt. But what was true out of the gate was Guidewire was our target platform. So we've invested significantly in terms of migrating our policy center, billing center into Guidewire Cloud. We went live for direct book of business in April of this year. We're making investments in migrating Claim Center to Guidewire Cloud, and that goes live in February. In parallel to that, we're modernizing our personal lines broker business, and we're moving that to Guidewire Cloud as of August this year. So for us, we're all in on Guidewire, and so what we're seeing within Guidewire is significant investments. I think Guidewire's R&D budget is like $242 million. Please don't quote me on that, which is significant. And so as a carrier, in terms of investments in the broader ecosystem, it just made sense for us. And so when we look at building models, there's some models that we will build that are differentiators, but we see this huge augmentation of intelligence that we now get within the Guidewire ecosystem that is really going to accelerate our business going forward.
Excellent. Your thoughts, Sai?
I mean, I've been here with Canal only for 7 months. Lucky for me, I didn't actually take on any legacy. Lucky for me, we've been on Guidewire for a long time now. And we already migrated to Guidewire Cloud for policy administration. Only billing and claims are supposed to get migrated to cloud sometime down the road, right? So my journey is a bit different. But again, we are a monoline company, so that actually makes it a lot more simpler too for us. But for the most part, we rely on Guidewire for just about everything because, it, like Dennis was saying, the ecosystem, it brings all the partners, all the tools and technologies that you need into one cohesive platform. I think that to me is a lot more alluring because I've been in places where we had disparate systems and you just spend a host amount of time just integrating all that, right? In this case, you don't have to spend any of that time at all. And this morning's presentation reinforces the concept that they are invested in this product and they are trying to bring about new changes, particularly with AI, which I think are going to be pretty relevant for us, right? Given where we are, our processes are right now within billing or underwriting and claims, right? Looking at some of the AI capabilities that
Claims modernization,
absolutely. It's going to be a huge lift for us. And so we're, like Dennis said, we're all in on Guidewire as well. We just have to take it a bit slow as far as the migrating to cloud is concerned because I was just talking to the Guidewire team as well yesterday, and I mentioned the same thing. Look, we want to go to cloud, but the most important thing for me is to transform my business processes to be able to effectively leverage what Guidewire offers today, and in a way that actually that doesn't jeopardize or inhibit me from moving into cloud down the road. So the goal is for us to modernize those business processes by leveraging some Guidewire-enabled third-party solutions, and then eventually migrate to cloud.
It's funny, like enabled solutions, and that's one of the things we're trying to work with Guidewire within the Canadian landscape. So I was happy to see at the keynote that Guidewire acquired Pro Navigator. It's a couple of things we work with, great Canadian company, and I know within the ecosystem, we as carriers have started working more closely together. At the end of the day, we realized a lot of what we're building, there's no competitive differentiator. It's just plumbing. And so for us, being able to partner on reusable assets across the ecosystem is such a huge value add. And I know Guidewire is kind of stepping up in terms of investing within that space just to make the ease of friction between brokers, carriers, customers significantly easier. So that we're super excited about that.
You mentioned about Guidewire enabled solution, and that brings, kind of the Jutro Studio, which they announced today, bring a lot of AI capabilities and, off the shelf capabilities that can accelerate into the Guidewire modernization. But with AI cannot happen in isolation. It's all underlying data.
Right.
Now, question to you, both of you, is how are you modernizing your data platforms? Is there a path? Because we can bring a lot of SLMs models for AI, unless the data is there to infer and to react. It's of no use. Your thoughts around that? What's happening at Canal and Aviva?
First and then all.
Thank you. Well, for us, we have been I would say, a single repository solution. We have some of that, right? So that presents us a good opportunity to start leveraging some of the AI capabilities. Given that we are a commercial auto insurance carrier too, right? We rely heavily on the telematics data as well. So one of the things we have to sort out from a data perspective is how do I get near real-time information, especially flooding in from my telematic sources, and leverage that to enable my business processes, right? Be it FNOL or be it underwriting, or somebody gets into an accident, I should be able to issue an FNOL, could call them in, just be able to proactively reach out and do a whole host of things that way. We are not enabled to leverage all that today, even though we do have a single repository of some of these data information that feeds us today, right? So the goal for us is to get to a point where we have a single source of truth, not a source of truth, but a place, a data warehouse or a data lake where we are able to essentially ingest all the information and then apply analytics on top of that. And of course, unleash AI models on top of that, train our own models as well. Right. That in conjunction with models that are trained on industry data as well. I don't want us to just be leveraging our own data set, right? We want to rely on third-party partners that have actually trained in other insurance carriers' data as well, right? So that's what we're looking for. But importantly, I think where our investments will go is enabling embedded analytics for my business users, right? Like my adjusters and underwriters, particularly with what we saw with Guidewire today, where they're infusing AI into everything. And I think it becomes imperative on a workbench concept, right? That they are able to see just about everything that they can to understand the risk better and to underwrite that risk better, right? So that means I have to embed that into the system where they actually live and breathe on a daily basis.
Interesting.
So very similar journey on our side. I'll caveat that by saying we have a bit of a data swamp. So I firmly believe in terms of establishing the right foundation. And so for us, we've aligned on Snowflake as our target data platform. And so we're making investments over the next couple of years to, one, standardize on an industry standard data model, which will be core, but to land everything in Snowflake, to your point, to have that single source of truth, but then to start enriching the data sets within there. Yeah. And then the third horizon would be then to start building some, weaponizing it to start unleashing some of the great capabilities. And a lot of great announcements today, and what we're seeing not only with Guidewire but other COTS ecosystems is that infusion of AI capabilities. And so for us, it's learning where we differentiate in terms of we truly believe building these models makes a competitive differentiator versus leveraging the broader ecosystems. You said, we all have the same fraud use cases.
Yes, so exactly.
When a foundation is set, then you are pacing your innovation journey within your enterprises. Now, how do you balance risk and innovation? There's a governance piece involved, there is security piece involved. Now, how do you build the guardrails in the first place? Is that a thought going on, or are you dependent on some external solution to do that?
So we've established, just in particular to the AI discussion, we've established an Aviva data intelligence team, and it's a hybrid team of like business partners, data scientists, technologists. And within that team, you'll have your architects, your security folks, and so we try to establish some guardrails, and we do this within a local market standpoint, but also at a group level in terms of ensuring that the models we build and deploy aren't biased, that we have proper feedback mechanisms, monitoring for drift, all that good hygiene stuff. In terms of broader innovation, it's something I'd love to see us more broadly as an industry really push forward in terms of establishing guardrails, but innovating more rapidly within the space.
I think it goes back to what you said and what you said earlier. I think to me, innovation is cultural. You do have to really create a culture of innovation by empowering everybody to go try new things, but within the guardrails of how they can essentially do that. So again, that's in order for you to put the guardrails, obviously you have to have stronger security policies in place, the governance policies in place, and also a cultural aspect where they start thinking about security before they think about anything else, right? Especially in this day and age, you cannot. It's not negotiable, right? So what we are trying, I did something similar. We have created an AI task force internal to the organization. And their goal is to work with the security teams to understand how to apply security, how to apply AI governance. We did have our general counsel put together, and I collaborated to put together AI governance policy. And the goal would be for us to look at all our internal processes to understand where do we start thinking about applying AI, or where do we start thinking about going out and seeking solutions externally, and how do we apply that governance to that process itself. And so they are responsible for sort of charting a mechanism for us to do that essentially. But yeah, I think it's in my mind, you have to balance it, especially given where we are. Technology is changing by the minute. You want to make sure you empower your associates to think outside the box.
We're all in tightly regulated environments. It's also bringing them in the conversation as well in terms of how things are evolving. To your point, you hit the nail on the head. It has to be cultural, and it has to be cultural organization-wide. You can have lighthouse teams that start bubbling together, but it needs to be organization-wide in terms of we're feeling that thought leadership, that innovation is
or at least have to deal with 50 states.
Well, all provinces are different.
Yeah, that is true.
Every territory has
their
their
own. Very tightly regulated, and there's complexities around that. So it's we have our own set of challenges.
I can
insurance in general. I think we are heavily regulated. So.
We are end of the session. Any parting comments? Any last few comments for our audience from your lens? What do you think going to change, transform the industry? Anything?
It's AI. Like I said, well, where are we? Look, I think what Guidewire announced today is in the line, right? In my mind, directionally, it's perfectly aligned. Now, at the end of the day, I don't think AI is going to replace any humans. It is only going to augment them. And it's only going to bring about the efficiency in their daily processing. And what I saw this morning is right in line to enable that, right? So I'm very excited for the future in terms of our investments in Guidewire, particularly as I saw the demo around customer service, around underwriting and claims management. It's huge. For us, it's going to bring about a ton of efficiency. And it's certainly exciting times for us.
Thank you.
Yeah. So for us, moving from product to customer experience is key, and seeing AI as a huge enabler to removing some of the frictions across all the channels that we operate in is massive. Again, some of the announcements were huge, and kind of just reinforces the bet we've made in the past couple of years in terms of Guidewire from an ecosystem standpoint. To me, I'm super optimistic with my colleagues within the Canadian carrier ecosystem, the things we can do together, and with Guidewire kind of moving the industry forward, which I think is unique. We're in a very unique position to leave an interesting legacy for the next generation. But who said insurance is boring, right?
I
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
But thank you again, Sai and Dennis. Really appreciate the partnership. Thanks for this fireside chat, and our audience will definitely love what you said.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
the time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.